book besties, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. If you guys are seeing my face for the first time, hi, my name is Maya and I like to talk about books here on the internet. Y'all know what time it is. A one, a two, a one, two, three. On the 5th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 5 golden reeds, 4 mediocre reeds, 3 fall reeds, 2 TBR games, and a very late reading wrap-up. Let's get into these books, shall we? So in the order that I have the most attachment to, number 5 on this list is going to be Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. And you guys, I have my own separate reading vlog. This was actually my first ever collab video that I did with my book bestie, Ashley Hearts Reading. Hi girl. She got to 1K subs, so go give her a congratulations. Yeah, we did a collab video and she read a 5-star author from me, which is actually one of those books. It's only in this list. I read one of her favorite books, or rather one of her 5-star reads. And yeah, this became a 5-star, but also to be on the list of like the golden books of the year. All I can say without spoilering it is you just gotta read it. And yes, I said spoilering instead of spoiling. I know what I say. And I meant what I said. You just gotta read this. There is so much going on. The way that it starts, intriguing. So has an amazing, like, gripping start. So that's 1. 2, amazing characters. 3, great plot line and great interweaving of plot lines and subplots as well. I feel like there's 2 plot lines going on here. Both of them are working simultaneously and on the same timeline. There are subplots going on around it that are relevant, that intertwine. Nothing is in there that shouldn't be. Everything has a purpose. Even all of just like the smallest character there has a purpose, has a story, and you feel that. And yeah, you gotta read it, man. You just gotta. Another book that you should read is The Tarot Cafe by Sung Soon Park. Oh my goodness. This got a 5-star from me the first time. I first read it actually at the start of my channel in Booktober, and it was just as amazing. Honestly, I have a different set of expectations when it comes to manga. Like, there is just so much more freedom, I feel, for the author to, for lack of a better word, kind of be lazy with the plot, you know, because you can see what is going on. You can kind of almost see the story before you read the story. And I have had an instance where there was one time I picked up manga. This was before I really read manga at all, but I was looking through it and honestly, I was annoyed that there were words. I'm loving watching the story unfold. Okay, this is why I like television. Okay. I was so invested in that the words that were describing the scene just didn't make sense. It felt out of place, but this worked really well. It seamlessly blended words and pictures and made the plotline interesting. Also, one thing that I personally really loved, as someone who does not know the world of tarot cards at all, I love that this author took the time to insert into the drawing what the picture was and then what it meant. Like, there were little sub notes, tiny. You had to like squint. Like, for me with glasses, I had to like squint and then get really close and then get even closer and then like try to open my eyes like the widest that they could get. And I was like, oh, okay, that's what that means. Okay, so sorry, got up close and personal there with you for a minute, but you know, it was still there. It was still legible. You could still read it, and it was a part of the story, and it blended seamlessly in a way that didn't take you out if you didn't want to read it. You just skipped over the very Very, 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 very tiny font. I greatly appreciated that because I'm not into that world like that, but I am one of those readers that if it's surrounding that thing and you have to have at least a little bit of knowledge of that thing, it's nice when the author does the work for you so you don't have to like research into the world. Literally yesterday I crashed out over the author making the reader work hard. Yes, I believe there are instances where the reader should maybe work for it a little bit. If I wanted to look up some of these cards and what they mean and how they pertain to the story a little bit more, it's not the author's job to tell me what everything is. However, the fact that they do and they blended it in seamlessly and it didn't take it out of the story, I think is a unique feature and something that we should look at. Also, the art is exquisite, the storyline seamless, practically flawless, and the fact that you don't understand your main character at all. Like, you really don't. And you're following along 3 other storylines that get wrapped up in a nice little bow within the story as told by our main character, and you still have no idea who this person is, what they're about, what their goal is, but you're starting to develop a liking of them based on their personality, based on their interactions, based on their seemingly moral lines in regards to their work. It's beautiful. It's unique in its own way, or at least for me. And I think, yeah, if you're into manga, you should definitely read that book. Next up on the list, Pan's Labyrinth by Cornelia Funk, based on the movie by Guillermo del Toro. Okay, so I need to sit a little minute with this book because I had a couple of reading vlogs, I think, surrounding my thoughts on this book because I was in the midst of a readathon. I also had a wrap-up that explains all of my thoughts. But I don't think I gave this book justice in all of that. And looking back, I don't know if I truly gave you guys the gravity of how brilliant this book was for me, nor do I think I can adequately express it now. It has the feeling of the Brothers Grimm and their stories, but like, you get happy endings, you get lessons, you get gore, you get violence, you get a lot of substance within this book. And I feel like this is a whole other level because the way that it's written for what it is, it's so unique and it's so fascinating. It's an interesting take on the part of the author, and I greatly love it. Like, the substance of this book is just a lot. It's a lot. It's hard, it's heavy, it's not pleasant for the vast majority of this book. It's honestly, it's disheartening on so many levels and in so many ways. However, the prose is so elevated and poetic and atmospheric and almost light that you forget some of the heaviness of the words that is being written, but you don't forget. That's the thing. You feel the tension, you feel the weight, you feel just the overwhelming emotions of our main character, who is a child, okay? You are following a child going through heavy, dark stuff, a girl that is dealing with 2 separate worlds, and the consequences are astronomically insane. They are violent. They like, there's so much gore. There's so much violence. There's so much destruction. There's so much death. And I don't think that's a spoiler. There's just a lot going on. And to wrap it up with the mythical and modern world, this was not what I thought this was. For what the title is, that's not who we're getting here. Mm-mm. Pan is featured, but he ain't the main character, sis. So, like, the title is misleading. Because for some reason, when I first got this book, and honestly, when I read the summary, I don't know. I felt like I was dealing with Pan. Like Pan from the Greek-Roman circle, but it's not that. I was thinking I was gonna follow Pan more. Yeah, I don't think that's a spoiler. I thought I was gonna see Pan more. I thought I was gonna understand his story a little bit more. And honestly, looking back, oh my goodness, I'm so reflective right now. Looking back, there's certain storylines where they were wrapped up enough to feel satisfied as a reader. But looking back at certain stories, I'm wondering, what was the significance that I missed? Because clearly there was more there, and there was a reason those stories were there. And yes, it did all make sense in the end, but there were a few things that were clearly hinting at other parts of his myth, I think, that if I were any more versed on it, I would probably have gotten the significance of. However, I didn't need that. And this is actually very good promotionally for this book. You don't have to know the story to get super invested in it, to appreciate just everything that this is. And bro, I can't get over the way the writing just puts you in a way where it doesn't take away from anything big or important. It doesn't take away any of the feeling, any of the emotion, any of the empathy that you're supposed to have for these characters. It actually, in a way, it kind of gets you more focused, which is just so, like, I don't even know how you do that. How do you write so flowy and flowery and fairy-like and just like elevated and poetic and atmospheric when you're talking about death and dying and gore and just like sacrifice and all of these things? It's just, and then I hate to do this because these last two are like so up there with each other, but this one is a little lower. It has to be. We need some coffee. You know something's wrong when coffee calms you down, but I was getting very excited and I needed to calm down. Because when I get excited, I talk really, really fast. I stumble over my words. I probably don't make sense. And then in post, I'm just like, girl, I need to like make up for all of your mistakes. And I don't have time. Okay. Alrighty. Alright, so are you guys ready? The top two. Coming just barely under first place, in second place for me. Is anyone surprised? Wicked, The Life and Times of the Wicked Witch of the West, Volume 1 by Gregory Maguire. Wizard of Oz was probably one of the iconic movies that I loved as a child. Wicked, the play, I got to see on Broadway, my first ever Broadway play experience, and one of my like most notable theater experiences. My first ever was The Lion King, but my like second most notable theater experience being Wicked. Okay? Like, and then to see the movie based off of the play after having taken literature to film courses and like really appreciating the art of not just literature to film, but literature to play, because I had seen other plays based off of different books that I've read. Agamage specifically, and just so appreciative of that art. And then I was in a play myself and just really got to experience that. And then I was in a screenplay writing course. Bro, I like such an appreciation for all of the mediums of that. And then to read this book. I have a reading vlog moment of this book. I do. It'll come out maybe 2026 sometime. I went in and off on my reading wrap up that contained this book. You guys, I am in love with this book. Now listen, I had a chance to get the second book in this series, but it's not, the storyline is going to be different. So I don't know if I really want to touch that storyline yet, because I'm still reeling over this storyline, over the play, over the movie. Like, I still haven't seen part 2. I'm seeing part 2 with my sister, even though she betrayed me, y'all. Go get her. Just kidding. She betrayed me. She went with her soul sister to go watch it for the first time, and then she watched it with someone else. So two-time traitor, just kidding. I went with someone else the first time too. It's fine. We don't really think like that. It's just, we're like, you and I, we need our moment because a certain character. Anywho, I just, like, oh my gosh. It was so good. Like, I'm gushing so much, but I really haven't said anything about the book. I've said everything about the world. Yes, it was nostalgic for me. Yes, the nostalgia plays a big part. But honestly, the elevated writing, and this is like writing from another time period. When I say writing from another time period, can be a hit or miss for me. R.I.P. Lord of the Rings series. Everything except for The Hobbit, because I read The Hobbit. Sometimes, I'll tell you what, you gotta be in it. You do. And yes, there were moments where I felt like I was sledging through the writing, because I'm like, this is too classy of writing for my brain to comprehend as I'm trying to go to sleep. But the storyline itself, wonderful. The plot, amazing. The characters, so in-depth, so intense. The underlying themes and conversations of this world, absolutely insane. The religious undertones took me for a loop, because like I wasn't expecting that. Like like I mean, so I guess I should have, but it wasn't as like fundamental to the story of the play and of the movie that is kind of translated off of the play. And like, I get it. Everyone says the book is entirely different, but like, I didn't know how much, because one would think you would understand where things come from. And that's the thing. I started reading the book and like, okay, hold up, calm down. I watched the play on Broadway, the full thing. Okay, and then I watched part 1 of the movie. And I understood where things were going, how they were translating off each other. Okay, cool. Everyone said the book is completely, entirely different. Fine, fair enough. But something had to give a spark of an idea for the translation. How did we go from the book to the play? What was like I'm all behind the scenes. I'm all asking those questions and all up in the tea. Like, tell me everything. How did you get from this to this? I just want to know. Like, what were the decisions? Was it merely because it was a different medium? Was it because like you felt like there were some things that needed to be taken out that weren't important? Maybe this little change might make this arc of the story maybe a little bit more significant. Maybe that was what was supposed to be highlighted at the time. What were our decisions? Nothing like anything I expected, but like everything that you would think of that would spark the idea for what it became. Did any of that make sense? Probably not. All I'm saying is, as I was reading this, I understood. I started to get a glimpse of how this became the play that it was and why certain decisions were made that were made. It could have gone so bad. Like I say this in my reading wrap up, this could have gone so bad. The translation, so bad. There were only so many things that you could do, so many ways that you could go, so many different outcomes. The narrow way here was, it was tight. There was a thin little thread that you could walk on that would actually work with this story, from adapting it from what it was to what it is, and somehow they walked that line completely perfectly. And I don't even know how they did that. Like, and they're obviously, y'all can disagree that it wasn't done perfectly. And the only reason I say perfectly, obviously it's not perfect, but it was done perfectly for what it became and how it was taken, because very, very few ways would have been able to garner that type of love. I'll tell you that right now. Very, very few ways that would have garnered the love that it did, the appreciation for it, the still staying true while being its own independent thing. Just so much could have happened, but it did it perfectly. Riddle me why, I don't know. All right, last but certainly not least, and this is gonna be no shock to nobody. My favorite girl, Sarah Penner. The London Seance Society, specifically by Sarah Penner. I read the first book that is somewhere. Oh yes, I read The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner last year. Loved her. Got her book as quickly as possible. Read this, I believe, in February, not gonna lie, for Forensic February. Yes, I still remember that was a thing. And loved that. Then boom. Okay. And then very quickly got The Amalfi Curse by Sarah Penner. The second that it was out, I did pre-order this on Amazon, but for some reason it didn't come through. Finally got it though. So beautiful. And this is actually gonna be, oh no, I can't say that. Never mind. So The London Seance Society by Sarah Penner. This was amazing. She just does such an amazing job of bringing historical fiction themes to life. And really, it's not even a normal, or what you would think as normal historical settings. It is taking a piece of time out from the past and carving into it, into the daily lives of the people there, and specifically women. Badass women, might I add. It shows a revolutionary attitude in a historical setting of what could have been in a very accurate way, and it's amazing and we love it and we are here for it. Those were my 5 golden books. Tune in tomorrow for day 6 of Bookmas and what that will entail. I am very excited. That is all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to follow me on any of my other social medias, I have a lifestyle channel which I will be linking in the description box down below, along with my deep breath, Instagram, Bookstagram, TikTok that doubles as my book talk and regular TikTok, and then any other sites that I may have that I am forgetting to describe now. So yes, again, thank you guys so much, and as always, thank you guys so much for being the absolute best bookish bestie that ever was, is, or ever will be. I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Bye!